We've all heard this before. Whether it be a suspenseful movie moment or the countdown before a test is due, the ticking of a second is always omniscient in our society. First, a brief example. But what is time? It's something we take as an unchangeable constant of physics, a set interval we measure in seconds. It's an irreversible physical concept, and it has an interesting effect known as entropy. For example, consider this rather clean dining room table. The second law of thermodynamics states that all systems will tend toward randomness. Let's see how my dining room table is affected by entropy with a week's worth of regular homework. The concept that time was an unchangeable concept was postulated by Isaac Newton, who thought that 1 second for me is 1 second for you, like this. Well, in the 20th century, Albert Einstein came along and realized that Newton was wrong. There was no universal tick-tock. Time ticked at varying rates for varying objects at various times. His idea hinged on the possibility that time and space were correlated, combined into a single term called space-time. He discovered that if you have more of one thing, then you have to have less of the other. If I go farther in space, then the less time that passes for me. So a NASCAR driver is theoretically traveling slower in time than the spectators cheering him on because he's going through a much greater distance than the audience members. Einstein's idea meant that theoretically, it's possible that the future already exists. Let's say this loaf of bread is a chunk of time, starting from the Big Bang, with the x-axis being time and the y-axis being space. Let's say this little brown dot is Earth, where we are today in our current time period. And a couple billion light years away, there's an alien planet who's also in our current time frame. If an alien on that planet is looking directly towards us with a powerful enough telescope, then the alien and us should be on the same time plane, just counting the speed of light and light traveling this way, that way, etc. However, if the alien starts jogging towards Earth and looks at Earth, then the angle at which it sees the current time of Earth shifts into the future, an area in time that we actually haven't experienced, but a time frame that the alien can see. And if the alien starts jogging away from Earth, then it sees the past of Earth. For the three general viewpoints of the alien, positive, negative, and neutral time points, we'll call each a slice. But if such a notion that the entirety of time already exists, why hasn't the public paid attention to this idea? Well, it has. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card dabbles with the concept of not aging at the same rate as others if you're going at a fast enough speed. This is called time dilation, a concept NASA is also interested in by conducting the twin study, where one twin goes up to space in the International Space Station going around 5 miles per second, while the other twin conducts day-to-day business on Earth, going nowhere near as fast as the twin in space. But these are just theorizing in science fiction and experimenting. What about real-life applications? Well, let's say a GPS satellite and its home base set their internal clocks to the same time, and that the GPS satellite is sent into space to do its job. There's bound to be a time sync error because time is obviously going slower for the satellite than the home base. The time discrepancy is exaggerated, but it makes the point clear that GPS companies should take notice of this phenomenon, and in order to better service their customers, they should create an algorithm that correctly syncs these satellites and Earth bases to minimize delays in information communication because of a time discrepancy. Well, that's all for the video, so thanks for watching.